they hit him, maybe they didn't, maybe it wasn't. We don't know. That's how this stuff works.
You know, it's hard to tell because, you know, they
But,
said
you
that
know,
he
these
was
guys
in
are
this
really good at
bunker in
reporting, and
Lalazan,
what
and of
they're
course,
saying
that
is
is where
they're
one of his bunkers
confirming
is located,
there
in
was a
this
strike
neighborhood
on
and in
his
this part of
bunker.
Tehran.
Whether it
But
got
you
him or
would
not, we don't
wonder
know,
if they
guys.
might have moved him out before this occurred, because Iran, even though they have very weak intelligence gathering services, they still do have intelligence of some sort that can get some, I
Enforcers
guess you could say,
clickbait
some
BS.
pre-warning
Okay.
of these attacks. And knowing that Lavazan has been a very
I
strong
don't know.
target of the Israelis in the past couple of days, it would seem prudent that maybe the supreme leader was moved out of this area and maybe to a different bunker outside of the hotbed,
All right,
which
let's
is
just hit the
Tehran. I
super
wonder if
chat.
that is
Talk
the
about something real
case.
quick.
Right now, we simply do not know.
Talk
But
about
all we know,
Mossad also. Real quick super chat, Mike Matrix. What do you think happens next if this is true and he was killed? I talked about that in my video. Also, there's multiple videos coming out about the Crown Prince confirms that there is an uprising going on in Iran right now. Who knows if that's true? But I did a video on this. What I think is going to happen. I said they want regime change. They don't care about the nuclear facilities. They want regime change. They want a pro-Western rule in there for a bunch of different reasons, geographically, you know, through the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf and all these different things. It would be very beneficial to have a pro-West or pro-Israel power in there. So they want regime change. Most likely it's going to be the exiled crown prince that, again, is very pro-West. His daughter is married to a Jewish businessman, so Israel would love it for him to take control. So, yeah, the problem is, guys, and we talk about regime change. Let's talk about regime change real quick. Obviously, this information is just coming in live. We'll switch back to that here in a second. Regime change is going to be complicated. So everybody is saying that Iran is going to rise up. They're going to topple the government. 60 to 70% of Iranians hate the government, the Persians, right? They don't want Arabic Islamic rule, yada, yada, yada. What we've seen is they said the same thing to us in Iraq. Didn't happen. They said the same thing to us in Afghanistan. Didn't happen. Same thing to us in Libya. Didn't happen. Syria. Didn't happen. So I'm not sure if you cut the head off the snake, does one of the Ayatollah's second, third, fourth in command just take charge? I don't know. Typically, regime change requires a forceful hand to go in and remove the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, because they're still going to have power. Because again, in these type of places, it's not like the populace is armed. It's not like they can just go overthrow the government, right? So I don't know, but I do think that the goal is regime change. Roblex $10 says, in your opinion, do you think the bunker buster could be something we have Israel or another one of our secret airstrikes? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. Like, again, I don't know how deep this bunker is. I'll tell you this. Let's talk about Mossad, right? Like, they know exactly where the Ayatollah is, guys. Isn't that crazy? Like, they know the literal building he's sitting in. They know who he's with. Like, they can take this dude out at a moment's notice. Like, that's pretty scary to think about. But is, and we know that intelligence is that good because they did it to all the Iranian generals and scientists. They lured them all together and got them all to stay in one room so they could strike them. Like, that's fucking wow, right? Like, so we know they're that good. So it's also kind of scary for our own politicians who are so pro-Israel, right? Like, I wonder what Mossad's doing in our own country. And if you guys didn't know this, Israeli spies and Mossad are allowed to operate within the United States without impunity. Fun fact, because we're an allied nation, just so you know. You might have seen Tucker Carlson asking Ted Cruz about, like, don't you think it's a problem that there's just Israeli spies allowed to be in the United States? And he, no problem with that. So, yeah. But again, we don't know. We'll switch back to this. We'll see if anything.
Is there is a bunker, and there is also executive compounds in this high-end neighborhood, and it appears to have been struck. But there are other targets that it could have been in this neighborhood. I believe the bunker was the target, but of course, it could have been maybe the Iranian Armed Forces ground command headquarters. There's also an IRGC barracks there, and also ammunition manufacturing facilities as well. But Most importantly, though, Lavazan serves as
Assad
the
was at the
homes
Diddy
of
parties. Yeah,
several
probably
current and
they probably
former
were.
senior IRGC officials, including Khamenei and his bunker as well. So that's why this neighborhood has been targeted so much by these Israelis, because there are some top leading officials that are living here currently.
And I once again want to confirm to many who are coming in here and asking whether Khamenei is dead or not.
Here we
We
go.
are not able to confirm whether Khamenei is dead or alive at this moment. We are able to confirm that there was an airstrike onto the area of his bunker at the moment. But once again, I want to make it incredibly clear that we are going to be covering on air when we get the news live whether he has ended up surviving this strike or whether he was just killed inside of this airstrike. That information may take an hour or two to come out, especially considering that this strike happened in Lavazan. The Iranian government will be pressed to give some sort of a condition on Khamenei, especially
skipped your
considering
super
that the
chat.
Israelis have already
sure?
said that he's inside of this neighborhood. And at least according to the last information that we had available,
did I?
it doesn't appear that the Mossad
I don't
or
mean to.
the Israeli
Half acre
intelligence in
pastures.
general
Put your
was able
put
to
your comment in the chat. I'll
confirm
read
whether
off,
he has
brother, if
ever
I missed
left
it.
the
Sorry.
neighborhood, possibly suggesting, highly suggesting,
Jalapeno
he's still
Prepper,
inside of
$2.
it
Hey
at this
Chief,
moment in a
what's
bunker
kicking chicken?
somewhere.
What's up, brother? Joe Saunders.
This neighborhood, along with the
Stand by.
Sharak-e-Naft and Sharak-e-Mahalati
Let me hit these and then we'll jump back into it and see what's going on. Joe Saunders, $5. I thought the Israeli Air Force didn't have the aircraft to handle bunker busters. It would have to be the U.S. Air Force. Am I wrong? Well, it just all depends, all right? So let's talk about that, okay? Depends on like how deep this bunker is, like how reinforced it is, how much concrete is it through. If this bunker is 100 plus feet underground, yeah, the only thing that's going to get in through that is a GBU 57 dropped by a B2 Spirit bomber. But we do have plenty of 500 to 2,000 pound, even up to 5,000 pound bunker busting bombs that Israel also has for these sort of smaller, like not as deep bunkers. So again, it depends, man. I don't know. Was this America? Maybe not. Like, was the bunker just not that deep? I don't know. But yeah, so Israel does have bunker busting technology in their munitions, but not that can go 200 plus feet underground. There's only one munition that can do that, which I can show you real quick before we jump in further here to this. All right. So, pull this bad boy up. All right. The U.S. bunker busting bomb that could destroy Iran's Fordo nuclear facility. So, yeah, 30,000 pounds for Americans. B-2 stealth bomber. It can penetrate 200 plus feet underground. And so the way, show you guys what it looks like. You can see it's absolutely massive. They call it the FOAB, not like the mother of all bombs. It's a different bomb. Call it the FOAB, the father of all bombs. And so the way and guys, this hasn't actually been technically, as far as we know, we've never used this thing actually operationally. But so how it works is they carry two of them. Okay, so a B-2 Spirit bomber will carry two of these, or this is theoretically, I don't know really how well it could actually get done. And so what they do, it's a GBU, right? A guided bomb unit. So it's got a GPS coordinate plugged into it. They drop two of them. The first one drops, okay? And it's going to dig and penetrate as deep as it can into the ground and then boom, explode, right? To clear out a bunch of the area. And then they drop a second one behind it into the exact same hole. So that can penetrate even, another 100, 200 feet in the ground. And then boom, hit those super deep bunkers, right? So that's theoretically how this whole thing works. We obviously, supposedly, I don't know if we have or haven't. We haven't tried this out yet, as far as I know. So this guy's got a bunker underneath an apartment complex in the neighborhood. Yeah, B2 payload is 40,000 pounds. I know. Rob, look, again, this is just what Lockheed Martin says the capabilities are. All right. This is the idea as you drop. Or perhaps the way they do it is they take two B2 stealth bombers, each one carries, and they come in a sortie, right? And then one drops, the second one drops. That's probably how they actually do it. Again, I don't know. I never dropped a GBU 57 as a JTAC, obviously. I wonder how much one of these things costs. Let's look that up real quick. How much does a GBU 57 cost? Oh, okay. So as you guys see here, the development cost in between 400 and 500 million. Production cost around 3.5 million. So yeah, this thing was not cheap, guys. Not cheap to make, and not cheap to drop. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, whatever, $500 million for a munition to develop it, better than gay Sesame Street. Yeah, so that's technically how these are supposed to work, right? You drop one, probably again from, you send in a sortie, drop one, penetrates through as deep as it can and explodes. Drop the second one, even deeper, explodes. Is that required to get down to where Khomeini is right now? I don't know. Again, we know that they hit his bunker. We don't know what was used. We don't know what's happened. We just know that potentially or supposedly reporting says it's been struck. I'm sure we're going to find out overnight, right? Or as, probably tomorrow we'll wake up and we'll find out that it wasn't him or it was him. But apparently they know exactly. How deep is he, Daddy? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, brother. Probably pretty deep. Taffy, $10 says in regard to bunker busters of the U.S. use a jackhammer type technique by dropping tons of smaller bunker busters to penetrate that deep. Could Israel do that such here? No. So again, with the GBU-57, they just dropped 2. That's the entire point. The first one sort of clears the space, ideally about 200 feet in the ground. The second one falls in behind it. Joe, $2 sent Tim Kennedy alone. Yeah, with enough grenades, I feel like he could bunker bust. You know what I mean? Lockheed Martin looks like a good stock investment. Yep. So Lockheed Martin and I think Northrop Grumman, I think they made it together. You guys could fact check me on that. That may be right. That may be wrong. I'm sure somebody in the channel will tell me if I'm wrong. That's the way it usually goes. All right, let's jump back into this. Where did we go? Got so many panels up.
Significant for the Iranian governmental operations, as a large amount of high-up government officials end up living within this northeastern area of Tehran. Practically
this is
all
weird
of the
too,
high-up
right?
officials of the Iranian government live within this northeastern area of the city, specifically Lavazan. And this is actually
where
the
they all
residence
live.
and home of the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is at the moment, along with his bunker that he's apparently
we're just
inside
like, yeah,
of,
this is
along
where he
with
is
his
at the moment with his family.
according to intelligence that's been provided by the Israelis to the public. It does appear that at the moment there are a couple of targets within the area, but considering that the smoke plume that we were watching just a little while ago, or more so the explosion itself, appears to have been coming from the base of a mountain, it's highly likely, if not possible,
is the Supreme Leader dead? We don't know. We know that he struck his house or his bunker.
We can see here
apparently there's
area
ambulances
of the
and
Lavazan
IRGC
Forest Park,
everywhere in the
which is generally
streets,
a park
but we don't
for
know.
Iran's elites to be able to wander around in whenever they have free time. And we do understand that, at least
We
according
don't
to
know.
information we have at the moment, there are underground bunker complexes, possibly the entrance of one right there.
No, this is about an
that
hour
are
ago.
scattered out throughout the very base of this park that allow for bunkers
Jerry,
to be
it's
made.
the Enforcer channel. He
inside
just
the
put this up
mountains
about an
for top
hour ago.
officials to hide in the event of airstrikes or pretty much
Just finished watching their stream,
scenarios
yeah.
for the Iranian government. Nevertheless, we do have more breaking news coming out at this moment.
All right, so we're getting word that apparently urgent warnings have been issued by the IDF to residents and anyone present in the Safedrud industrial zone in the village of Kalash in Talashan, Iran. So there appears to be some brand new evac warnings in this area. It appears to be an industrial zone. It's hard to tell exactly what is in this area that Israel might try to strike. But Enforcer, if we can try to get a geolocation on that and determine exactly what is trying to be struck here, it appears to be another large evac warning right this very second in that part of Iran.
And let's see here. Unfortunately, I cannot pull up any of the names that they listed there in this description. There is nothing that's coming back to Talashan in Iran or the Safedrud industrial zone. So I'm not able to find those specific locations at the moment.
What am I sipping on?
We will
Old
try
fashioned,
and look
brother.
into that here really quickly, folks. Once again, want to make it clear to everyone joining us at the moment, we have been able to hear of an airstrike in the Lavazan neighborhood. This is the major breaking news story at the moment that we're trying to keep apprised of whenever there's new information coming out. And it appears that there was just an attack on Khamenei and his family's life inside of their protected bunker near to the area of the Lavazan Forest Park and the Lavazan neighborhood. We are still waiting for more additional information on that. It is not confirmed that Khamenei is dead. I want to make that incredibly clear. We are not reporting on this channel that Khamenei is dead. Khamenei may still be alive at this moment, but this is the first direct airstrike we've ever seen targeting the Lavazan neighborhood and specifically what appears to be his bunker at the moment. So we are covering that news as we are getting it live on air. Wanted everyone to keep that in mind, and I hope that you all do remain patient in the meantime, because we also have other major breaking news stories happening at the moment, including
I don't know how these guys do what they do like this
for the Safedrud industrial zone in the village of Talashan.
Like they're usually
and I am going to try
so
and put
Enforcer. Let's
they're usually like so far ahead of the mainstream media and like where they're getting their information from. I wonder how they do this, because it's like crazy how fast they can update their stuff. We'll check back to that in 1 second. Let's hit some of these chats. Run-in 91S, $5. Thank you for doing these live streams. I appreciate your perspective and the work you do keeping us informed on what's happening. Opinion on Lindsey Graham. He's been talking very bold. I think we should send Lindsey Graham's fucking dipshit ass to the front lines. He's been fucking war hawking and trying to get us in every conflict for the last 30 years. Fuck that guy, dude. RZ punished him $2. Enforcer is great. Matt Morse TV is an ass. Ooh. And then, did I miss one? Kaz Snave, $10. Thanks, brother. Hey, Nate, cheers from Australia. Love the love for the Aussie soft. Hell yeah, man. Most Aussie soft GWETs or GWAT vets don't want to get involved in the war against Iran, even if their leadership is horrific. Take your eyes off the prize. Yeah, I mean, neither do we. Here's the thing. Here's where I'm at with this, guys. Look, you guys know I'm anti conflict in the Middle East. Here's the reality of it. This shit's happening. Like, it's fucking happening, guys. We're not stopping it. Like, it's very, very clear what's going on here, right? Like, this is not the same as like the back and forth launch some missiles and then everything cools down. No, Israel, not we, right? I'm gonna Ted Cruz it. Israel eliminated the vast majority of their generals, eliminated their nuclear scientists. They're literally potentially trying to take out the Ayatollah and his family right now. Do you think and let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that Israel is just going to go, okay, you know what? Actually, Iran, well, yeah, we'll do a poll. Actually, Iran, you know what? This was our bad. We shouldn't have gone this far. We're not going to continue to attack you. The Ayatollah can stay in power. You guys you can continue to enrich uranium. No big deal. Do you guys think that's going to happen? Do you think Israel and the United States are going to allow that? Does anybody have logically think that is going to happen at this point in this conflict? That everybody's just going to go, whoops. Whoopsies. We'll stop. No, fuck no. And I'll explain it, because think about it this way. The United States, like, really think about it, and it's easy to really kind of figure out, right? The United States said, and Donald Trump has said 1,000 times, we will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Okay? Well, here's where we're at now. Israel cannot reach the depths they need to reach at the main nuclear facilities. Netanyahu has come out and said that. Israel's come out and said that. They don't have the munitions for it. So, if Israel cannot reach these nuclear facilities, America and Donald Trump has said, we will not allow you to continue to enrich uranium in these facilities. Who has to take these facilities out? Do you think Donald Trump, think about this, guys. What's Donald Trump's nickname from the left right now? What are they calling him? You guys know? What are they calling our boy Trump? Not King. Nope. Taco. There it is. You know why they're calling him Taco? You know what taco means? What's taco mean, boys? What are Democrats calling taco? Why are they calling him taco? Somebody hit it in the chat. Come on, somebody's got it. Trump always chickens out. That is Trump's nickname for the left right now. Do you guys think, knowing Donald Trump, knowing his personality and having a nickname of Taco, Trump always chickens out, that after weeks and months of saying he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, that he is going to go, never mind. We are not involved. I'm not carrying through. I'm chickening out. Do you guys think that? You think Trump with his personality is about to do that? Really? Do you guys really think that? Come on, guys. We're doing this thing. Not a chance in hell, right? Yeah, it's the ego, baby. And I'm not saying it's necessarily right, wrong at this point. We're in it now. Right? Let me hit these super chats and then I'll rant a little bit more. GS Evolve $10. Oh yeah, cheers on the anniversary. Happy birthday, GBs from Old Lowly 11 Bravo. Hey man, like 80, probably like 60 to 70% of GBs are 11 former 11 Bravos, brother. Megan Butler $5. Do you think America might step in to help people of Iran topple their government like we did previously done in countries like Libya? Oh, that's the next step, and that's the scary one. Do we come in there to help facilitate a nation build? I don't know. That's boots on the ground. So we'll see. If we do it the Obama technique, you guys remember in 2013, Obama said we have no more boots on the ground in Afghanistan, but we do have 1,500 Green Berets there because Green Beret boots don't count as boots. So we'll see if they use that technique or not. Coop wins $2. They're ahead of the game because they are Mossad. Yeah, I mean, they're good at what they do, no doubt. RZ punished them $2. Israel destroyed the heavy water reactor. Yep, I saw that today. Joe Saunders, $5. Bros, they knew that who had pagers and cell phones. They probably know your street address, apartment number, your phone number, and so on. Just saying 100%. If they know where the Ayatollah is literally staying, like the room he's in under a building, like they know a lot. It's pretty wild. But anyway, is he dead? We don't know. We know the place he's living at or staying at in a bunker got struck. Ambulances everywhere outside. We don't know if he's alive or not at this time. We'll jump back into the reporting here in a second. Again, we're not going to know probably until, later tonight, tomorrow. If he is taken out, oh my God. Things are about to get even crazier for sure. But anyway, my point is where we are at now. I don't think anybody, unless you're just being naive, thinks that this conflict is going to stop until the Iranian regime is toppled. Let's see that. Let's do this as a poll. Because I think this will be good to look at. I've got a million windows open right now, guys. All right, poll. We're going to do, think we will continue until the regime is toppled. Yes or no? All right, so here's the poll. Do you think the United States and Israel continue down this road until the Ayatollah and this regime is removed, or do we stop and go, no, good enough. We got the reactor. We're fine. You guys can continue going on. Because I think where we're at, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to regime change this thing. Right? So, I don't know, guys. All right, let's see what we got with the poll. Oof, it's looking pretty one-sided right now. Looking at about 90% yes. And 88% yes, 12% no. Brandon says their balls deep committed. They ain't going to stop. Yeah, man. I mean, we're in it for real at this point, right, guys? I don't know. I don't see how anybody could think that we're just going to throw our hands up and be like, no big deal. Iran got oil. Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right. Give regime change a chance. All right, we have, holy shit, guys, we have 3,500 viewers right now. So this is where we're at. Okay, reporting has come in. We've been talking about it. Been watching over on the Enforcers channel that the Ayatollah, where he lives, the neighborhood he's in, the building that he, according to Mossad, is hiding in a bunker with his family underneath, was struck by a bunker busting bomb an hour or so ago. Ambulances in the street, IRGC, all over the place. We don't know if he's alive, if he's dead. We're still waiting for confirmation on that. All right, what's this poll said? Looks like about 88% say yeah, we're going balls deep in this thing. All right, so yeah, I agree with the yes crowd on that. Yeah, I don't think this thing's going anywhere. We got response to your vid on media, always claiming that Iran is so close to gaining nukes. Look into what Israel has done for years to get them back. The reason why they never got nukes. Love the show. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, Iran's been weeks away since like 1994, according to Netanyahu. So here's I don't know if you guys saw this. Matt Gaetz. I don't know if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can find this. Again, I wasn't planning on this live, guys, obviously. So, okay, I can't find it. Matt Gaetz came out and said today that poll didn't post. Whatever. We pad it up. Matt Gaetz came out today and said that what he would like to see, and Iran has suggested this, and a lot of people are suggesting this, is completely denuclearize. I can't say nuclearize. Completely denuclearize the Middle East, which means Israel as well. So Iran has to remove all of their nuclear capabilities, as well as Israel and Pakistan. I don't know how they're going to force Pakistan into this. I don't think that. Good luck with that. What's your guys' thoughts on that? We'll do one more poll, and then I'm going to grab a little re-up on my drink. Remove both Israel and Iran's nukes. Yes or no, guys? What do we think? Yes or no? Remove them both. And while we do that, and I grab a drink and put the reporting back up, see where we're at, see what's going on.
Let's try this instead to try to geolocate that spot for the
All right, I'll be
evacuation
back
order currently.
in 60
Type
seconds.
in the Iranian Gilan province. It's Gilan province, and see exactly where that is. And that'll give us an idea of exactly where this evac order has been issued for.
So this is up on the area of the Fertile Crescent of the Caspian Sea. So let's see if we can find that specific
So
city.
we're looking for an industrial area. It's the Cephadrud industrial area. It appears to be a.
Oh, here we are.
There we are, industrial town right there.
This is near to the town of Rast. I don't know where in the world, or Rasht. I don't know where in the world they got Kalash Talashan from. Well, actually, they spelled it wrong. It's Kalesh Talashan, not Kalash Talashan. So apparently there was a little bit of a typo there. But
It's going to be an
there
interesting
appears
one.
to be an evacuation order for this industrial town. And we can also see that there's some sort of an epicenter to this that surrounds this facility right here that was under construction, at least when this satellite picture was taken.
All right, well, let those
It
votes
is
come
highly
in.
likely that this may be a ballistic missile production
See where
facility
we're at.
that's now been
See
given
what
an
people feel like.
evacuation order by the Israelis that is soon to be hit here in this moment.
Not the enforcer.
So really
He's a
quickly,
biased
let me go
shill.
and
I don't know. He
take
seems
this
pretty unbiased to me. He
and,
just
put
reports
this
the
on the
news and
map
what's
now
going
that
on,
we know
man.
where
I haven't
the
seen
imminent
I haven't heard a
evacuation or
single
airstrike
partisan
will be
thing on
happening
either
at.
side, anything I've ever
And
watched
it
from
is
him
especially within this specific epicenter
at
right
all.
here.
Literally, he just
So
literally
I'll be
talks about
putting
what's
down
going on
evacuation order
in a much more
issued.
cohesive and
I'm putting
informed
that down
manner
on the
than
map
any
for y'all to
mainstream media
follow.
outlet.
Also,
That doesn't mean
by
he's
the way,
right
I'm seeing some
necessarily,
people
right?
say that they've gotten confirmation the committee's dead. I've not seen any confirmation of that, so let's hold off on that for a second.
Okay,
Because
still
we're
no
not seeing any
confirmation.
official confirmation from any source right now saying the committee has been confirmed dead. So take that with a grain of salt. I really doubt that's legitimate right there, wherever people are hearing that
Your
from.
wife,
So
your
let's
wife
wait and
wants to
see. I'm
see
still looking
Munchkin.
for more
Munchkin's sleeping
information
right
on
now,
it.
brother.
And we are still looking for more information on practically every
All
single.
right, we'll check back in that in a second. Where we go? Where was my poll? What are we at? Wow, okay. So removing both Israel and Iran's nuclear capabilities. 67% yes, 33% no. Interesting. It'd be interesting to find out for the no's why you don't want both denuclearized. Any no's in the chat want to throw out why Israel won't agree. Doesn't? Yes, they will. If NATO tells them, fucking too bad, or we're going to invade you and topple your government, they'll do it. Why no on just Iran? Why, guys? I'm not judging. I'm just interested to hear. It seems like if just nobody in the area had nukes, it'd be much better for everyone. No, because Israel isn't a terrorist state while Iran is. Define terrorism. Define terrorism. Israel has carried out airstrikes against 5 different countries in the last week. No other countries have. I'm just saying. I'm just saying objectively, what you need to define the word if you're going to say that they're not. Because, yeah, I don't know, guys, about that one. All right, real quick, hit the super chats. Make sure I don't miss them. Got Christian Tilmani, Ahala snack bar. Okay. KCat, $5, sipping on 25-year-old red breast and waiting for a regime change. Yeah, I think it's coming, man. I think it's coming sooner than we think. Cody, $5. Can they make us retired guys go back active duty for World War III scenario with the numbers, enlistment, and retention numbers? Well, good thing is that the numbers ain't low, brother. Army met its recruiting numbers 4 months early. Good to go. Yeah. So, no, you're probably going to be fine. However, if like actually WW3 kicked off, yeah, people like me and you'd probably get repulled back in. Right? They want all the combat vets, if even for just sort of leadership and training and experience and things like that. That's what we did in the previous wars. Things like Korea and Vietnam, you had older vets who just came back for training and stuff like that. So it's possible. Half Acres Pastures, $5. Iran has always been close, but Israel has held them back from maintaining nukes. Really? What did Israel do since the Stuxnet virus to stop Iran? Because they've been saying that Iran's been basically 2 weeks away since 2014, but there's been no kinetic action to stop them. So why did it take 11 more years and there's still no nuclear weapons? Just explain that to me. Again, I don't know if that's true. Nicosia Connection, $20. Thank you, very generous. Boots, marching up and down again. Let's hope not, man. Jeremy White, $5. No regime change, or no regime that surrenders their nukes maintains power. Yes, isn't that the truth? And that's why they're not going to give them up. Saddam did. Gaddafi did. Well, Saddam technically never had any, I guess, but yeah, the ones that do, yeah, they get hosed. Ukraine is another good example of that, right? Gave theirs up, and guess what? Got invaded. Papa Shah, $5. GWatt 2 Electric Boogaloo. Love the vids and breakdown. I know that's where we're at. Always watching, $5. Look into Israel's Samson option. That's why they shouldn't have nukes. They would tell NATO to pound sand. Yeah, I don't know. It's not good, guys. I don't. So like, B Weezy says, "Bro, you're a joke." Okay, man. Sure. The question then is, what happens now? Zayan, $5. Thank you, brother. I don't know, guys. Like, you remove the current regime, and then what? I mean, I don't, like, none of us really know enough about what's going on in Iran to know how it's going to go. Is this going to be the first regime change that actually goes successfully in the Middle East in the last 7 times it was attempted? What do you guys think? I should probably do one more poll. One more poll. All right. We love the polls here. Be successful in Iran. All right, start the poll. Here we go. Will regime change be successful in Iran? What do you guys think? We're 0 for 7 in the last 20 years. It's been an absolute catastrophe in every other country we've done it in. Maybe this one's going to be different. I don't know. All right. We'll find out. Let's get the poll in. Flying Eagle, $10. Thank you, brother. Could the U.S. attack Iran before 2 weeks, I mean, yeah, I think we might have just done it. Because here's, and this is you bring up a good point. We'll talk about it here in a second. Let me hit these last super chats. Tommy Johnson in OK. I don't know what that is. 50, thank you. Remember, you can hide your salami, but Mossad will find it. Yeah, no doubt about that. And then they'll videotape it and hold it over your head while you're in American politics for the rest of your career. Maddie B's cool, $2. Thank you. Pull up Samson option on Google for the viewers. Pull up Samson option. I'm going to look at it first before I do this because you never know what you're going to get from the viewers. But all right. All right, here we go. The Samson option. For the 1991 book, see the Samson option, Israel's nuclear arsenal and American foreign policy. The Samson option is Israel's deterrent strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort against a country whose military has invaded or destroyed much of Israel. So it's basically like a scorched earth strategy, it sounds like. Like, if you invade us, everybody's going down with us. Commentators have also employed the term to refer to situations where non-nuclear, non-Israeli actors have threatened conventional weapons retaliation. The name is reference to the biblical Israelite judge Samson, who pushed apart the pillars of the Philistine temple, bringing down the roof and killing himself. So yeah, scorched earth, and thousands of Philistines who captured him. I see what you mean by. So that's kind of important when we talk about potentially denuclearizing Israel, right? All right. Okay. Let's polls doing well here. Will regime change be successful? 69% say no. 31% say yes. I'm actually kind of surprised that many actually said yes. Because again, and I'm just saying from like historically in the Middle East, from the United States involvement in regime change, it has never gone successful. So let me break it down. Let's talk about define successful. Sure, Corey, let's do that. Okay, Iraq. Was Iraq regime change successful? And again, throw it in the chats, yes or no's. I'm going to obviously explain each one of these to you and why they weren't. But was it successful, guys? No. So not only was Iraq's was the least successful, Iraq's was the most destabilizing. Why? The Iraq regime change did multiple things that were a problem. So what we did is we went in and we removed Saddam from power, right? And then his army, which was predominantly Sunni, we then kicked out, disenfranchised. Who did they become? They became ISIS. And guess what the government we gave power? Shia. So the Shia Iraqis. Guess what Iraq is now? Iraq is just a Shia-backed proxy of Iran. So all we did was make Iraq Iran 2.0. Okay, so, and then create ISIS. So no, the regime change with Saddam, we know, was one of the worst things we'd ever done. Saddam had kept the entire Middle East in check. He kept Iran in check. Okay, most of the problems we're seeing now in the Middle East are from removing Saddam from power. What am I drinking? Old fashions, brother. All right, so let's go with another one. Next, Afghanistan, right? Oh, he went into Afghanistan to what? Topple Al-Qaeda and the Taliban? Install a new regime with Hamid Karzai? How well did that go? Well, 20 years, didn't really make any traction, gave it all back to the Taliban, plus hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military equipment. Not great, right? We'll get into the next. Let me hit these super chats. They're flying in. Then I'm going to explain Libya, and then I'm going to explain Syria, and then I'm going to explain Ukraine, right? When we're talking about regime change. No, they don't go well. Again, I'm not saying Iran might not. Maybe they're the one poised to do well, okay? Stan says, I picked a crazy month to enlist. Good thing is you got 8 to 12 weeks of basic training before you get shipped off to go fight for Israel, brother. So enjoy it. All right, Steve, $5. Are they going to bury him in? I'm just saying I did it myself, okay? So I'm just making the joke. But Steve, $5, they're going to bury him at sea without anyone seeing his body to keep the Muslim customs like they did in Bin Laden? Probably. Something like that. James Smith, $10. We agree regime change in Iran 1953. How was that worked out? Ooh. So there's a little history buff in James Smith. Let me read this off to you guys. So James brings up a fantastic point here. For those of you who don't know Iranian history with the United States, I'll read it off for you. I have this written down. Hard to remember all these things, right? 1951, Mohammad Mossadegh, Iran's democratically elected prime minister, nationalizes Iranian oil in the Iranian oil industry. That was a democracy back then. As soon as they nationalized their Iranian oil industry, what happened? Well, the United States and the UK, with the CIA, orchestrated missions overthrows of Mossadegh and replaced him with Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. As you guys know, the Shah, his son, is the exiled prince that we're looking at reinstalling. Okay, 1957, the FBI, CIA, and Mossad assist the Shah in establishing the brutal secret police known as the Savak. 1976, Savak holds 25,000 to 100,000 political prisoners. 1977, the Savak expands to 5,300 full-time agents. It's basically just the Iranian version of Mossad. 1979, the Shah flees Tehran for Egypt after months of protest to his rule. 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini, an exiled cleric, returns to Iran. And as the world and circle turns, yes, James, you have a great point. We regime changed before. We'll do it again in the same country. And no, how well did it work out in 1953? Not well, as you guys saw. Quick history lesson there. All right, RZ punished him $5. Yes, because the legit crown prince and the people want Khomeini gone. Do they? Because we just brought you up the history, and the people wanted the Shah and his son fucking gone. So, do they really want him back? I don't know. That's what Fox News will tell you. Is it true? I don't know. I don't live in Iran. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I question it, right? Rhett Remen, $5. I think so, because Iran was pretty liberal the 50 years ago, and there's still people that remember that. Yeah, that's fair, true. But as we just talked about, the Shah was not quite as democratic as you might think. Better than what we got now, but yeah. Zuby, $2. Any reports on when we were unleashing TK? I'm pretty sure he's all over Fox News talking about how important it is for us to go to war. And from a guy who went to war and didn't do anything in war, that's probably why he feels that way. So there's that. Leonard, $2. How does this all affect LeBron's legacy? I don't know. We'll have to wait for the Diddy trials to be up to figure that out. Todd M, $5. The next successor will definitely be the one. Yeah, it always is, right? Dangerous Freedom, $5. Say no to Zog Support Thomas Massey. Woof. We got through it. All right, so where was I at? I was at Libya, or was I at Syria? Did I do Syria already? Where was I at? What did I just finish on my regime change success chart? You guys remember? I got to hit them all. What was the last one I did? Come on, guys. Libya was next. Okay. No, I just did Afghan, right? Okay, so Libya. Yes. Libya, that's an interesting one. We went in and we removed Gaddafi. We got him raped and murdered, as they'll say. And actually, Libya was one of the most successful, one of the most progressive, one of the most forward-thinking, one of the most capitalistic, one of the most Western areas in the Middle East. And we decided, no more Gaddafi. And Libya has been an absolute fucking shit show ever since. So again, massive, massive failure in Libya, removing Gaddafi. We never should have done that one as well. Thank Hillary Clinton for that. Go Hillary, right? And then we got Syria. Ooh, the absolute shit show that Syria has been. Again, we had Assad, who, as you guys know, was just recently removed from power. Why? Because he's allied with Russia. Who'd we install? The second in charge of Al-Qaeda, Sunni extremist organization, is now in charge. So I'm sure that's going to go absolutely swimmingly. And Ukraine. Okay, let's talk about Ukraine. Another regime change. A lot of people don't know this. We kind of pretend the history doesn't exist, that yes, in 2014, Ukraine was run by a pro-Russian leadership. And we went in there and basically forcefully removed the leadership, installed a pro-Western leader. Let's put it nicely. And since then, what happened? We spent 10 years from 2014 to 2022 in the Donbass, slaughtering ethnic Russians, and to the point that Russia invaded. So no, that didn't go well as well. So those are now, I think we hit them all the regime changes, and that's just since 2002, friends. And none of them have been successful. And there's not any way, shape, or form that you can try to mental gymnastics yourself into thinking a single one of those things has been successful. So So again, when I said, do I think that removing the Ayatollah and regime change is going to work out? The track record ain't good. Let me hit these super chats. We'll check back in, see if there's anything reporting coming in more than what we just saw. God damn, that's a lot of super chats. You guys are crushing me. I hope I didn't miss any. Dangerous Freedom, $5. Say no to Zog. Support Thomas Massey. RZ, punish them $5. Shiites and Syrians are a big issue. We need to support the Kurds. Yeah, we don't do that, man. We pretend to support the Kurds and then we sell them out at the last minute and hose them. Okay, so Syria is a big problem with the Kurds, right? So essentially what happened was, all right, you had the Kurds. Syria is a shit show. You've got factions all over the place, but you have sort of the Kurds up in the north, and obviously Turkey hates the Kurds. Turkey was a big part of the reason in installing the new leadership and removing Assad. Why? So that they can most likely force their way in, create a buffer zone between them and Iran, and remove the Kurds at the same time. Are we going to help the Kurds? Probably not, because we pretend to, and then we hose them every single time. And we should, but we don't. So unfortunate. Kim Jong, North Korea. Oh, Kim Jong-un's in the chat. $5 says, don't regime change me, bro. You're fine, brother. You know why? Because you got the big bombs. Nobody's paying attention to North Korea right now because of it. Coop wins $5. What do you know? You're only a regime changer. How? I am our Reddit gladiator. Yeah, I went and participated in that myself, right? And that's kind of where my perspective comes from. We did it. It didn't work out. Watched it with my own eyes. NC Mountain Man, $2. Spoiler alert. Mossad driving the ambulance. Oh, that's like a movie right there, man. Zach MF Porter, $2. Thank you, brother. $82. You think there's validity to Samson option? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We gotta. Let me get back to that. We hit all these super chats. As soon as I get through these, we'll talk about that. Born too early to fight in the Middle East, born too late to fight in the Middle East, born just in time to fight in the Middle East. Yep, that's a classic right there. And it somehow seems to always be true. Isn't that weird? Red Fam, $2 to confirmed. If confirmed, what will it mean for the United States? I don't know, man. I see you don't read all the super chats. Weak. It seems like I'm trying to, isn't it? Obviously, I do my best, dude. And anytime somebody says you missed it, I try my best to put it in. Don't be a dickhead. All right, Demaz Recon, $10. Better worded question. Will regime change in Iran work as intended? Is better. Regime changes in the Middle East have been very successful at changing regimes, just never as intended. Demaz, that's a great point. We are very good at regime change. We are just not very good at what comes after the regime change. So yeah, brother, that's a good one. $10 from Joe Saunders. Thanks, brother, for always being here. Dude, Sunni beats up on Shia. Shia beats up on Sunni. Dems beat up on Republicans. Republicans beat up on Democrats. I'm the only one seeing the parallel here. Just saying, bros. Well, not in the Middle East, homie, because there's 100 other factions that go into that, right? You have the tribal faction groups like in Afghanistan. You have the Hazarans and things like that. You also have things like the Alawites and all these sub-religions, and it's an absolute clusterfuck when you break it down. The Kurds, right? When you break all these things down in the Middle East. Antpol, $5. A lot of our wars in the Middle East have been smaller parts of larger decade-spanning crusade against Iran's attempted caliphate through proxy. Iran's attempted caliphate? Is Iran the one that's attempting the caliphate, or was that the Sunnis? So last I checked, it was the Sunnis that were trying to reenact the caliphate. Just saying. All right, so let's talk about the Samson option. I've never seen that before. It's kind of, again, a scorched earth. If you basically, Israel will destroy itself and its enemies if it's invaded to the point where it can't withstand. I guess, I don't know. Will they do that? Probably. They seem like the one country that would do that, to be honest. But I don't know. Again, so can you even get to the point of denuclearizing? Maybe they won't even let you because they'll just say, try it. I don't know. They also have so much control over American politics that who knows. All right, Neil McKenzie, $2, Kingdom of Heaven all the way. Yep. There is a third option. That's the way we look at it on this channel. All right, real quick. Let's check back in. See if we got anything crazy.
Major news item that is happening at
the opportunity will not remain open forever, and Israel is ready to act unilaterally if required. So it sounds like Israel is now issuing an ultimatum that unless they get help within the next 48 to 72 hours from the United States, they will go in and strike for dough and try to take it out on their own. I was
You're
just
okay.
saying that we're waiting too long. So it appears to be we're looking at the next 2 days, probably at the maximum that it'll take for Israel to actually strike it. It's not going to be much longer before they try to attempt it.
And so it does appear that the time is ticking and action is inevitable, at least according to the Israelis, within the next 72 hours at least. So that is all of our major breaking news developments that we have at the moment. And so
Okay.
with that, we are on to the next one.
And our next super chat here is going to be a $60 support from Demonowak, who puts in
All
at
right, they're
60.
hitting super chats in theirs. So it sounds like that's about as much as we're gonna get, guys. Yes, Soleimani's at home. I don't even know what you want to call it. His bunker under his home and his family has been struck with a bunker busting bomb. Again, ambulances, crazy shit outside going on. But no confirmation if he is still alive or not alive. So I don't know. We're gonna have to. Joe says I'm not as cultured as you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe not. I'm not very cultured myself. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll find out by tomorrow morning. If if it was a successful strike or not. Fuck, man, I don't know. And then what happens next? We'll have to wait and see. It seems way too early to do this. Like, there doesn't seem like there could be. I effed up the title. How did I F up the title? It says, is the Ayatollah dead? Question mark, exclamation point. Reports are pouring in. I don't know. That title seems exactly what we're looking at. Reports pouring in about the Ayatollah potentially dead or not. Isn't that literally what we've been watching? And there's, again, no confirmation yet. But we do know that, again, they tried to take him out. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know, guys. I wasn't expecting us to see this. And there's two is in the title. So no, there isn't. Oh, is the Ayatollah is dead? Okay, got it. Yep. Somebody got it. There we go. Good job. We threw that up as fast as we could and got in here. Good catch. All right. Man. Echo says, I'm going to get drunk as fuck tomorrow because I guarantee I'll be in Iran in 6 months. Yeah, I got it, guys. I changed the title. Yeah. Oh, man. Not our war. Just joined. Is he dead? Trevor, we don't know. They struck the bunker that him and his family are in, but we don't know for sure. It hasn't been confirmed or not if he's been taken out or not. Fucking crazy, right? What happens next? Does the U.S. get involved from here? Here's the thing. If we don't, let me look at it this way. I'm just trying to think about this, like critically think about this, because I know I did the video this morning talking about how this is exactly what I thought they were going to do, right? I was expecting this to happen in like the next 1 to 2 weeks. I wasn't expecting them to attempt this literally 4 hours after I posted that video. What I don't know is how the hell we are expecting to peacefully. Why am I shocked then? Because you don't typically think that you're going to be like 4 hours after you have a theory on something that it fucking happens, right? Like, I'm not Nostradamus. I don't think I am, but goddamn. If it turns out tomorrow that he's schwacked, then yeah, I nailed it, right? But we don't know. We have to wait and see. But they obviously attempted it, right? So I wasn't that far off. I wasn't that far off my prediction, right? You know what I mean, guys? Like, I kind of had this theory, it kind of made sense to me, and then 4 hours later, all of a sudden, we have reporting that they tried to axe him. I don't know. It's kind of on. It's kind of on the money a little bit. Again, we don't know if it's successful. So, does the United States get involved? I think, again, and I've been super against this. I've said it on every single thing I've done. The problem is now, if we don't get involved in this, now that this has been done, I think things are way, way worse in the Middle East. I think I fucking hate saying it, but I think now we almost have to, right? If we want the region to be some semblance of stability, we cannot just let extremists take over and turn this into an absolute clusterfuck, especially right there in the Strait of Hormuz, right? And in the Persian Gulf, and where like 50+% of the world's oil and economy is dependent on that tiny little strip. I think we have to. I don't see how we remove the Ayatollah from power, force through a regime change, and then we just go, good luck, Iran. Iran is too geographically important for it to turn into a Syria. That's my, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I hate to say it, but it's like one of those things of, once you decide to make this fucking decision, which I don't agree with, I didn't agree with the entire time. Now that we've done it, how do we just remove the regime and just say, all right, good luck? Because I'll show you guys what we're looking at, right? Hold on one sec. Pull this up so we can look at it and talk about it. I can't get this map to pull up. One sec. Oh, there we go. All right, so here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Here is our topographical map of Iran. Now, we obviously have Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, the Persian Gulf here, the Strait of Hormuz, which again, it's not tiny, right? But looks tiny. Like, again, like, I don't know the exact number statistic. Somebody can put it in the chat, but probably like 50+% of the world's oil comes right through this tiny little area. And if you destabilize this fucking country and you hand it over to extremists and it turns into Syria and they start lobbing missiles at every oil tanker that comes through the strait, like, think about it this way. If that happens, let me get my thoughts together, right? If this happens, if the regime change goes through, it'll be chaos. If extremist organizations take control of this country and we don't actually regime change this correctly, they can potentially, like the Houthis, like to fire fucking missiles, right? If this happens here in the Strait of Hormuz, the world economy, guys, the fucking world economy, the world economy shuts down. And what do you think is going to happen if the world economy shuts down and the Strait of Hormuz gets shut down? China, Russia, everybody is going to be like, no, fuck no, get in there, remove them from power, take control, right? The world will not allow that to happen. And so now that we're literally trying to bomb the Ayatollah's house, right, which just happened, we are stating that we are regime changing, right? If you're gonna bomb the Ayatollah's house, you're trying to regime change. So what do we fucking do once he's gone? I think what you see potentially have happen is, at first we go, all right, no boots on the ground, Israel handle it. How is Israel going to handle it? Israel can't physically get into Iran, besides like with Mossad, right? And so if chaos happens and you see some stuff like this, all of a sudden the world's oil starts to get cut off, then all of a sudden, yeah, America and NATO and Europe and China and everybody goes, yep, bless it off, we got to get in there, boots on the ground, go. GWAT nation building 2.0. I pray I'm wrong, but like it feels like fucking 2001, early 2001, 2002, when we were like, yeah, okay, get in there, bomb the shit out of Saddam's Air Force, right? We did that. Bomb everything with four corners. Then we got to go in afterwards with boots on the ground to make sure we can facilitate regime change. That's when boots on the ground come, guys. It's not in the everybody's like, it's going to be an air campaign. Of course it's going to be an air campaign. That's how they all start. We go in, we remove your Air Force, we knock out all your anti-air systems so that we completely control the sky. We've done that. We already did that. And then you remove the leadership, like we did with Saddam, like we did with Gaddafi, like we did with, Al-Qaeda at the time, the Taliban. And then you put boots on the ground to go in and facilitate the nation building regime change. That's when the boots on the ground come. After the massive air campaign, after the Air Force is taken out, after all the things we're watching now. Then there's always some fucking reason for why we have to go get involved. With Saddam, it was, right, weapons of mass destruction. Right? Afghanistan, obviously looking for OBL. Okay? Syria, ISIS. Right? There's always some fucking reason. Once we do all these preliminary air campaigns, once we do the regime change, that's when the boots on the ground come. And there's always some bipartisan bullshit propaganda reason for it to happen. All right, real quick, super chats. Leonard, $2 says, I'm going to get drunk as fuck just cuz. Good for you, brother. JJ Ease, 1977, $20. Thank you, brother. 2CTV says, Crown Prince confirms uprising. The only somewhat successful regime change wasn't even in the Middle East. It was in North Africa. So we're getting other reporting coming in that the Crown Prince, the exiled Crown Prince, like we talked about, the Shah's son, is confirming that there is an uprising going on within Iran right now against the Ayatollah. Is that true? I don't know, but that is, I've got buddies that are messaging me stuff as we've been doing this. Apparently that is the reporting that's coming in. Hard to tell if that shit's true or not, guys. Again, we said the same thing in Iraq. In Iraq, right? We said, hey, we're going to go in, we're going to liberate, and then Fallujah fucking 1 and Fallujah 2, and all these things that were just the bloodiest fucking battles of the war because, no, the people didn't want to accept Western rule. So we'll have to wait and see. We got Andonios, $5. Does the Navy still have the mission accomplished banner? If they have the banner, we need to do Operation Irani Freedom. Yeah, new campaign flags coming, boys. New campaign flags coming. Joseph says Middle Eastern women are hot. You're not wrong, dude. Like, if we want to take, here's what I'll say, guys. And I don't know how to phrase this without getting myself in trouble. So, you got Iran, right? You guys know what the Lebanese women, actually, yeah, my former girlfriend when I was on the Oregon cheerleading team was Lebanese. So, again, we're gonna get a little less professional here. Let's talk about the refugee situation, because every time we destabilize a region, what happens? We create a massive refugee crisis, okay? And where do all those refugees go, guys? Where do they all go? Where do they get shipped? Where do the refugees get shipped? In Afghanistan, in Iraq, Libya, Lebanon, Europe, and America. Yes, correct. You guys know. Minnesota and London, right? Obvious. So this is what happens. We go in, we destabilize countries, we create chaos, and then we usher in hundreds of thousands of refugees into Western countries. Okay? So we know we do that. However, Iran, ethnically, do you guys know what the majority of Iranians are ethnically? Somebody throw it in the chat. What are the majority of Iranians? Come on, chat. Persians. So, I'm just going to throw this out here. I've got an idea. Okay? you heard it here first. Valhalla VFT has an immigration refugee crisis response idea. I am willing to bless off when we regime change Iran and we destabilize the country, because I know that we're going to do it. We will create a refugee crisis. What we can do is all Persian women will create a 1-for-1 swap. All Persian women will be allowed to come to the United States as refugees in exchange for a sort of, let's say, a student exchange program with liberal women Democrats. Okay. So 1-for-1 swap, they volunteer. Let's say 100,000 female Democrats go. We bring in 100,000, or let's say a million. Let's say 5 million. 5 million. 5 million, let's say white liberal women. 5 million white liberal women go to Iran. We take in 5 million Persian women. 5 million new Mia Khalifas. What do you guys think? What's chat think? How's that immigration strategy? 1-for-1 swaps, baby. It seems like a smart idea to me. All right, let me hit these super chats while you guys go crazy for that one. I know it's a good idea. I get it. Kangaroo Bot, what's up, brother? How do you think Pete Hegseth will handle this whole situation tactically? Good, bad? Do you think there's someone waiting in line to take his place? Oof, shit, I don't know, man. It's I would not want to be in Pete Hegseth's position right now, getting ready to deal with whatever is coming forward. Very, 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 very stressful. Grizzly Burn, $5. Should we be worried about terror cells at home in the near future? Ooh, great question. Let's talk about that next. The chat loved it. You guys like that idea? I mean, like, here's the thing is these fucking white liberal women are constantly talking about how we have to help these refugees, right? It's like, all right, fucking sign up. Sign up. All right, here we go. We're going to add a poll. Start the poll. Let's see what we think. 1-for-1 swap, liberal women in exchange for Persian women. I might pitch this to Donald Trump. I think like Trump might be the type of guy that actually might go for this too. You know what I mean? Trump might be like, you know what? Yeah, we're starting that fucking program. Of anybody, of any president, we have our highest chance of success with that. Colton M80 says, I think only women with big knockers should immigrate here. Well, God bless Persian women, bro. That's kind of the point. And got a lot of, you're a genius scholar and a gentleman. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm married. Yeah, I know. I'm married to a hot ethnic woman with dark hair that looks Persian. She's not. I'm just saying. I get it. It's my type. My wife just looks just like it, right? So I'm trying to help you boys out. You guys get it. I'm married, happily married. I'm trying to help the boys out. Okay? This isn't for me. Okay? This isn't for me. This is for the boys. This is for you guys. This isn't for me. Yeah, my wife's always listening. This is not for me. I'm happily married with a smoking hot wife. This is for the boys and maybe the girls. I don't know. All right. Let's see what's our one for. Wow, this poll was a blowout. 1-for-1 swap. 94% yes. 6% said no. I'd be interested in the 6%. Who's the 6%? All right, we're going to end the poll. 94.6. God. Who is the... Oh, my gay audience, my gay demographic. Yeah. I do got a decent amount of gay fans, I think. We've been thinking about doing an OnlyFans for the boys, for the femme boys, right? It would be guns and green beret buns. Right? It's just me with a M4 while I spread my ass cheeks for the boys. You know what I mean? All right, that was probably just too much. All right, we probably just ruined the entire stream with that. Anyway, let's get back on topic because that got weird. That got super weird, super fast. All right. Real quick, super chats. Greg Lambert from Australia. What's up, brother? Look up Professor David Betts, who believes the civil war in the UK is now unavoidable, direct result of GWAT related mass immigration. Yeah, London's fucked, France is fucked, Europe's fucked. 100%. Jason Oliveria, Aussie again. What's up, brother? $15. Appreciate you. Good day from Oz. Mossad are hot on his heels. Do you think bunker busting stripe is off, according to Russian scientists being president? Yeah, that's an interesting one, guys. Did you guys see that reporting? Or I guess it wasn't reporting. It was Putin came out and said it. I mentioned it in my video earlier. So supposedly Putin told Trump, and Putin has said this publicly, I think earlier today, that there are hundreds of Russian scientists in the big Iranian facility, the one that the United States has to strike, deep below the ground. That seems very odd to me, guys. That comment, right? It might be true, right? If there is hundreds of Russian scientists and we strike it and we kill hundreds of Russians, that could be a huge, huge problem. Could it not? But there's a caveat to this. Seems too convenient, right? I've got a take of this. I didn't think about it until I talked about it in my video earlier, but I didn't think about it until later when I went, wait, what? Wait, what? All right. And yeah, Russian scientists are out of there. And I'll talk about why it's kind of a little bit weird in a second. But supposedly that's why America might not want to strike these bunkers, is we got Russians there. But I got a caveat to that here in 1 second. Let me hit these super chats again. I'm trying to keep unsubscribed clickbait. Don't read all chats. Fucking deuces, bro. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, bitch. Thanks for donating, though. That was nice of you. I don't know why you would give me money just so I could tell you to go fuck yourself, but there you go. All right, Rambo, $5. Dude, I'm a big fan. Glad to see everybody real, who uses logic, common sense, and just in touch with reality. Love you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Super nice comment. I do my best. I just try to look at the world objectively, not get all my information from mainstream media, think for myself, think critically. Matt was in the chat. Matt, where are you at? Matt Tardio was in the chat. Me and Matt were on the phone for like 30 minutes earlier today. I don't know if he's still in here. Zan, $5. Get in, loser. The Great Tehran Offensive is nigh. Operation White Monster. Hell yeah, brother. Is Tardio in here? Where you at? Where's he at? I can't see him. Bureaucratic Consequences, $5. Hey, Nate, want to become a Green Beret? Is now a bad time? Nah, if you want to fucking become a Green Beret to go fight the wars, it's a great time. Just saying. All right. Matt just went live. Yeah, we'll go check out here. We'll send everybody over to him here in a second. We'll probably wrap it up here in a minute. I think we got what we got at this point, guys, of what we're gonna find out. Is that a Vietnam beret thing behind me? What do you mean? Vietnam beret thing? That's my beret. You mean this? That's Mac v SOG. Mac v SOG logo, but it's for ODA 1116. That was my team logo out in Okinawa. I was going to talk about something. I got a little bit sidetracked. God damn it. I forgot what I was ranting on. Shit. Is the Ayatollah dead? It just got here. Don't know. He was struck with a bunker busting bomb in the location that he's hiding in. We don't know if he's alive or dead at this time. We'll have to wait and see. We'll probably find out by tomorrow morning. Leonard, $5. I ran through my year's supply of Bapple. I say we take Iran. All right. Oh, theory on that. Thank you, Kane. Got it. I can always count on the chat to get me back on topic of what I was ranting about. Yes, Russian scientists in the fucking bunker. So, when I heard this, I thought, okay, that kind of makes sense. There's Russian scientists helping Iranians. And then I went, wait, Why the fuck is there hundreds of Russian scientists in an Iranian nuclear bunker? Doesn't that kind of sound like they're helping Iran make a nuclear weapon? If that's the case, and if that's the case, uh, um, that means, because I don't think there's hundreds of Iranian scientists there trying to have them figure out how to get clean energy, guys. You guys think that? Is that why there's hundreds of Russian scientists in a 200-foot deep nuclear facility, is so they can get clean energy? I don't think so. So, to me, that actually says, oh, fuck. If this is true, yeah, you're probably actually trying to make nukes. And if you're actually trying to make nukes, then yeah, to Russia, get the fuck out of there. Like, what? We definitely should. Yeah, like that doesn't make you start to think about it. You're like, why the fuck is there hundreds of Russian scientists in a underground nuclear bunker in Iran? Ah, okay. So I don't know if it's true or not, guys. It sounded a little silly. But if it is, it sounds to me like they're actually trying to help them develop a nuclear weapon, which is not good, because that's going to prove, who's that going to prove right? That's going to prove Bibi Netanyahu correct, and it's going to prove me wrong and everybody else wrong. And yeah, if that's the truth, I don't believe that's the truth, but also, like, doesn't Russia have more pressing matters for their military scientists right now with their war with Ukraine than to have hundreds of them in an Iranian bunker? I think it sounds like posturing. I think it's made up. I don't know what you guys think. We can always do this because we're democratic on this channel. We'll start a poll. Is there hundreds of Russians in the Iran nuclear bunker? Yes or no? Let me know, guys. What do you think? Putin said there is. Putin literally said there is. I'm going to hit the super chats while we get that poll going. Make sure I didn't miss any. All right. Chris Cooper, $5. Has Iran's Navy been involved? How could the impact conflict of oil shipments? Yes, that's a big concern. Let's talk about the oil. Let's talk about oil here in a second, because that's probably what a lot of it's actually really about. Enrique Mata, $5. If Iran, U.S. boots on the ground, war happened in China, invades Taiwan, do you think the draft would be implemented? Probably not. Again, I don't think we're coming to Taiwan's rescue. And I'm just saying that as someone who was privy to a lot of planning and information for that conflict. I don't think we're going to do anything to help them other than bad China sanctions. So no. Chris, $2. Will we invade Iran the same way we did Iraq? I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I had a good guess for you, but I don't. Ooh, this poll's a lot closer. So we got, is there hundreds of Russians in the Iranian nuclear bunker? 37% said yes. 63% said no. That's actually a lot closer. I mean, I don't know. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. It sounded a little like suspicious, when Putin randomly is like, "Hey, knock it off." I've got my scientists in there. It's like, why the fuck are your scientists in there, bud? Because Russia has said multiple times before that they don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon as well. So why do you got nuclear scientists in Iran, bud? I don't know. Oil's the next big one, and we'll probably wrap it up after that, because China, oil, Russia. This is actually important. Let me think through it here. Meteoros, $2. Canada, will Canada join this fight? Oh, brother. Yeah, in spirit. Canada will join in spirit, I'm sure. I'm sure Trudeau is gonna Trudeau's gonna join the, yeah, if NATO does, then yeah, if we turn this into a coalition, right, like a 40 country coalition like before, then okay. But yeah, no. No, I don't think so. I think the Frostbacks are gonna mind their own business on this one. Heard that one the other day. I don't know if that's racist or not, but it's a funny joke. We'll see who gets it in the chat. All right. All right, Jason O'Varia, 15 Aussie, send them Persian hotties to Australia. There you go. Yeah, Australia will take the refugees, I bet, too. Oil, who said anything about oil, bitch, you cooking? From Mike D, $5. Thanks, brother. Okay, so oil. Yes, oil. Very important to China. I'm actually surprised China isn't a little bit more forcefully involved in this, because a majority of China's oil comes from Iran. And again, it comes from, if we look at this, all right, so it comes out of Iran, comes through the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, out through the Gulf of Oman, and then, I'll show you guys this real quick. We got straight. I can get I need to get a big, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. Oh, that's not it. There we go. All right, here we go. So this is the way this oil works, guys. And it's actually very, very big deal for China, okay? Because they get about 70 to 80% of their oil from Iran. And it comes through, as we saw, right, out of the Persian Gulf, through the Strait of Hormuz. It comes down here across Pakistan, around India, and then you guys can see the Strait of Malacca. This is extremely important for China, right through here. This is where, again, 70 to 80% of China's oil is coming from, right through the Strait of Malacca. And then as you go up north, you see Taiwan, and it comes through, you can't see it there, but the Taiwanese Strait, which is right in between Taiwan and China, and then up to Beijing, filters out through there. So, yes, Iran being destabilized is a huge fucking problem for China. The fact, and I was thinking about this the other day, guys, because again, I spent my time in first group heavily focused on Asia and China, and I was asking myself, why is China not more involved in this? Why is China not threatening the United States, not threatening Israel, of like, hey, do not fuck with Iran or their oil? But then I saw reporting that the Iranian oil transports to China, nothing is being affected. Okay, so then they're allowed to freely flow. America's not messing with it. Israel's not messing with it. We're saying, hey, we're not going to touch the oil coming out of Iran to China, which to me seems odd. And then also, if the regime gets toppled, doesn't that all of a sudden potentially, like literally, China folds and implodes if the oil gets cut off? The oil's not going to get cut off, guys. I think when we're talking about backroom discussions between nations, that China and Russia are mouthpiecing, saying, oh yeah, don't do it. And I think the backroom channels are saying, look, here's what's going to happen. We're going to regime change Iran. We're going to get rid of the Ayatollah. We're going to install XYZ. And I think these conversations are happening between like Trump and Xi. We promise we will not fuck with your oil. We won't fuck with the Strait of Hormuz. We'll make sure you guys are good to go. You keep your oil. And that is why China and Russia are sort of like, mouthpiecing, but they aren't doing anything. Because if that oil got cut off, fucking China would implode. So the fact they're not worried about it, guys, tells me there's some promises being made. Okay? Because you got to think about this like way strategic level. Nation states are definitely talking about these things together. So when we talk about oil, yes, big deal. But the fact China's not that upset about it tells me all the oil production and all of the logistics through that are going to be just fine. Nobody's going to touch them. China's going to continue to get their oil unimpeded, whether it's this regime or the next regime. That's what I think's happening. Or otherwise, China would no shit be like, hey, if you invade, we're going to war. But they're not. So, all right, real quick, super chats, and then we'll probably jet out of here. Just missed one, I think. Oh, there it is. Pick the Red, $5. She doesn't want the Chinese to know. She always takes a side saying no war, but is building a nuke, which is blatantly said will be used. China's got nukes, homie. What do you mean building one? You mean Iran? Grizzly Burn, $5. I'm sorry, I don't mean to spam, but once again, what's the possibility of terrorist cells at home? Sorry, brother. I saw your comment earlier. We didn't talk about it. Yeah, according to fucking what's her name? The Benghazi reporter girl that's always on Sean Ryan. Fuck, sorry. I don't remember her name. Kind of roll my eyes whenever I see her talk. Somebody's gonna Sarah something. Somebody's gonna put it in the chat. Anybody got it? Nobody? No, we just know Sarah. Okay, so Sarah Adams, that's right. So she has been saying for the last 2 years that there's all these Iranian terrorist cells in the United States, and they're just waiting to get turned on as soon as conflict happens in the Middle East. They're all turning on. Well, we're at the point where Iran's had all their generals schwacked, their scientists schwacked, and Israel or the United States literally just dropped a bunker buster bomb on the fucking Ayatollah. Nothing's happened. So that should tell you maybe that intelligence wasn't that good. Now, I'm not saying there's not potentially sleeper cells, but I am going to tell you this. All of the IRGC-backed terrorist organizations, Hezbollah, Hamas, right? The Houthis have all stood down, guys. You guys have seen the reporting on this, right? Where everybody expected if Iran got attacked, they would all go on the offensive and they would carry out attacks. And Hezbollah has come out and said, nope, we're not going to help. And obviously Hamas is dealing with their own thing. And the Houthis too. They're not doing shit to stop this. They all stood down, right? So if they're all standing down, then no, I don't think there's probably any sleeper cells that are going to enact in the United States. I mean, maybe we'll see them. At this point, the problem is, let's say, this will be the last thing and then we'll wrap it up. Let's say there is a Iranian terrorist cell that carries out a large-scale attack on the United States in the next week. What is that going to look like to fucking everyone if that happens? What's that going to look like? Even if it's real, what's it going to look like? False flag. Yep, false flag. Nobody's going to fucking believe it. Even if it's real at this point, right? Nobody is going to buy it. So, yeah. It'll just look like a massive false flag operation, pull the United States into the conflict, right? So, and also, if you're Iran, you know that. And you know, if we carry out a large-scale attack in the United States while we're praying to God to keep our regime intact, do you, if you're Iran, do you want the United States to enter this conflict? Like, again, we're not good at nation building, but we're real fucking good at regime toppling. Real good. And you ain't got no hope. Once, and people can get mad about this if they want. Once the United States decides that you're not going to be in power anymore, you ain't going to be in fucking power anymore. It don't matter who you are. That's it. Game's up, right? So I don't see Iran willingly wanting to pull the United States into the conflict to curb stomp them into oblivion. Why? So, I don't know. All right, guys, this has been an interesting one. Again, I wasn't planning on going live. We'll go live. We're still going to go live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Obviously, when we start getting all these messages and reporting, and over on the Enforcers channel, talking about all the live reporting about the Ayatollah's building and home being struck, we obviously, I was hoping we were going to get some type of confirmation live while we were doing this that he's either alive or not, but we'll probably have to wait till tomorrow. So we're most likely, we'll obviously talk this tomorrow. We may tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we may show up to talk about how the Ayatollah is gone, or we might be right back where we are. So yeah, hey, I think again, my buddy Matt Tardio just went live on Speak the Truth. So hey, head over, all y'all, let's bomb him, right? I think this is called, what's it called on Twitch streaming when you bomb someone? I don't know how it works. So there's like a phrase for it. There's going to be some gamer boys in here that'll say what you're supposed to do. Rating. Yeah. We'll rate him. All right. So I want everybody that's in this channel, go over to Matt Tardio's channel and Speak the Truth. I'm going to come over there with you. He's probably got better information than I do because he follows this stuff really closely with Israel and everything going on. I want to put his channel in the description. There we go.
Need a UGC video?
And we will raid his ass. All right, so get over there. Tell him that you're raiding him from my channel. I'll be over there with you too. Let's see what he's got brought up for us. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you again. Wild shit that just came out of nowhere tonight. We'll just have one last super chat. Okay, thanks, Jasmine. W and Alan, $10. Thank you. Unfortunately, when the U.S. decides that they don't want somebody, it's to be in power, it's the service members that have to pay the price. Yep. I mean, it is what it is. That's what we do. All right, head over there. Go bomb him. Raid him. I'm going to come with you guys. Who knows? Maybe we'll get confirmation while we're over there. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. I will catch you all tomorrow for the live. Don't know if I'm going to put out a video or not tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Let's do it. Thanks, y'all.